A warm welcome to Disky Talk with Luyolo. If you're tuning in for the very first time, I do ask that you please subscribe and hit that notification bell. If you've been a part of this journey, I hope you thoroughly enjoy this episode. So, on today's episode, I discuss all things Caf Confederations semi-final as Ahly Tripoli take on Orlando Pirates. So, on today's episode then, I'm going to focus solely on Orlando Pirates and have a look at them from a tactical perspective coming up into this encounter. We're also going to look at Orlando Pirates with regards to how they look to go about things in possession and out of possession as well. So in the quarterfinals then, Orlando Pirates were able to overcome Simba through penalties, and they do then find themselves within the semi-final of the Caf Confederations Cup. So they will be looking then to advance to the final. However, what awaits them then in Libya is a test against Ahly Tripoli. So when you have a look at Orlando Pirates then, they do line up in a hybrid system, because then in possession of the ball, it is a 3-4-2-1. At times it can sort of become a 3-5-2 shape, but mostly a 3-4-2-1. And then out of possession, they do go to a 4-4-2, sometimes a 4-5-1 as well. However, let's go into the personalities that Orlando Pirates look to line up with. So in goals then, it has been Richard Ofori. He has made a comeback, and he has been keeping goal for this Orlando Pirates side. And then when you have a look at the back three, as the right-sided centre-back, you've got Nyauza, you've got Happy Jele, who plays in between the two, and then you've got Innocent Maela. So when you have a look at this back three then, especially with regards to Jele and Innocent Maela, where they become very important is when Orlando Pirates look to facilitate the build-up and when they look to progress the ball from deep pockets of space. With regards to Nyauza, he isn't as comfortable as Jele and Maela, so a lot of the times then teams would be looking then to press Nyauza, and with Nyauza then a lot of the times he does tend to go long, so he isn't as comfortable within those deep pockets of space with regards to looking to build up, especially then if pressure is applied. Now the issue then that I've seen and the weakness then with regards to this back three, a lot of the times then is that Orlando Pirates, whenever that ball is played into these pockets of space, within those deep, wide defensive pockets of space, just behind the two wide centre-backs, and whenever Jele has to come out, Orlando Pirates tend to have problems. So against Simba within the first leg, what happened is a ball was played then in behind, and that ball was played in behind Nyauza, and then Jele had to look to cover, and then he caused a penalty, which in my opinion it wasn't a penalty, but it was given a penalty. But whenever then that ball does go into those wide areas or just in behind the wide centre backs, Orlando Pirates tend to have problems, especially when Jele is dragged out. And also then against TS Galaxy, similar thing happened where the ball is played down this channel, and then Jele is dragged wide. Lindo Gutlembata manages to beat him, and that's how TS Galaxy scored. So a lot of the times then they do tend to get stretched, so it's going to be very key then that they do stay compact. However, without the ball, like I mentioned, they do go to a back four, with Shandu then looking to tuck in and being then that right back. However, let's have a look at it then in possession still. So when you move on then right along and you have a look at the midfield, so you do have Musele, who has been growing in leaps and bounds and understanding his role within this Orlando Pirates side, and a player then who is starting to get a lot more comfortable with regards to how he looks to progress the ball and how then he also then looks to progress further up the pitch for this Orlando Pirates side. A player then who at times has been able to come up with the goal, either with late runs or from set pieces as well. So you do have Musele, who is becoming a very key player within the heart of midfield for Orlando Pirates. The last time out then they did start with Mabaso. However, you also do have a Munare who can play there if fully fit, and then you've also got Mutsware as well. And then as the left wing back, you do then have Hoto. This has been one of the standout players for Orlando Pirates this season with regards to the amount of assists and goals that he's contributed. So he's done very well with regards to offering width for this Orlando Pirates side within vertical zone 1, within the left wide channel, but he does also tend to drift in and can score goals as well for this Orlando Pirates side. Also then a danger from set pieces with regards to his technical ability. And then when you have a look at the right wing back, you do have Ubandile Shandu. With Ubandile Shandu, this is also then another key player for Orlando Pirates, as with Horto, they have been responsible for a lot of goals for Orlando Pirates and a lot of assists as well. Ubandile Shandu would be looking to offer you the very similar prowess and technical skill set within open play on the right hand side for this Orlando Pirates side with regards to how he looks to push up with assists and how then he looks to contribute with goals as well. And then when you have a look at the two number 10s, so you do have Lorch, and this is a player then who is always a key player for Orlando Pirates and the best player that Orlando Pirates have. However, what tends to happen, because when you have a look at Orlando Pirates midfield, they don't have a specialist then who is well renowned with regards to looking to progress the ball from those deep pockets of space, and a midfielder then who's got those penetrative line breaking passes, which is able then to find the number 10s further up within those half spaces. So what happens a lot of the time is that you've got Lorch, who tends to drop a lot deep when he's looking then to get into the game and he's looking to influence play. That then does sort of leave Orlando Pirates a bit short up front, because then you find that if it's Pepper playing up front, he does tend to get isolated. And you'd also have the other number 10, whether it's Ntambo or it's Sukamanja or it's Kabelo Dlamini. So because Lorch does tend to drop deep, it does then leave those two isolated, and it doesn't give Orlando Pirates the three options up front with regards to how they're looking to attack and penetrate, because Lorch tends to drop a lot deep. And as a result of that, this season he hasn't been as influential when it comes to the goals and the assist as well, because he's looking to drop so deep. He then takes up the role of being the passer, as opposed then when you know that Lorch is normally further up the pitch with regards to occupying the left side of half space. He does drift wide, he does drift to the right side of the half space, he does also drift to the right hand side, and he does also look to break into the box. That's when Lorch is a lot more dangerous, whenever then he's looking to penetrate within that final third. And then the other number 10, then like I mentioned, you do have various options. However, coming up into this encounter, I do foresee Ntambo starting, and then up front, then you do have Pepra, who has been the consistent starter. However, because they're going away, and I foresee Ahly Tripoli having the lion's share of possession, I do think that Zakele Lipasa could be a better fit up front, because I do think that he's got a better first touch than Pepra, and that becomes key then with regards to holding up the ball whenever Orlando Pirates are looking to get out their own half, and that could aid Orlando Pirates, because then what has happened is that when they have played away within the Caf Confederations Cup and they've got Pepper, is that because they defend deep for large parts of the game, whenever then they're looking to get out, Pepper would struggle then to hold the ball up and get his more creative players into the game. So I do think Lipasa would be a better fit coming up into this encounter. And then let's have a look at them out of possession. So out of possession, Orlando Pirates do then go to a 4-4-2. So you'd have Innocent Mayela there, you'd have Jele, you'd have Nyauza, you'd have Shandu, and then you would have Hoto, who would then become the left wing. And then you'd have Ntambo who drift to the right-hand side if Ntambo does start. And then you'd have Pepra, or you'd have Lipasa, and then you'd have Lorch. So that's what Orlando Pirates go to then out of possession, as they look to become very compact and ensure then that they manage then the lateral and the vertical spaces in between the line, so that the opposition team can't grow into the game, so that they can't penetrate and play those line breaking passes in between. So coming up then into this encounter, it becomes very important that whenever Orlando Pirates do defend deep and they are then in this low to mid block in their 4-4-2/4-5-1, whenever Lorch would look to drop in, it becomes very important that they're able to get out. So there's two ways then that you get out. It's either then you've got a striker who can hold up play, which then buys you time as a team to progress up the pitch, or you get out using speed. So in this case then, they would be looking then to use the speed of Hoto Lorch as well, you know. So that's the speed that they could be looking to use to get out of that situation. And then you've got Lipasa as well, who is quite quick. So you've got 3 players then that you could look to use with regards to getting out of those situations. So it's either hold up play or you use speed to get out of those situations. But coming up into this encounter, I do foresee, because Orlando Pirates are playing away, I do foresee them looking then to be compact, looking then to be disciplined, and looking then to make use of offensive transitions where they're looking then to counter-attack this Ahly Tripoli side. It's going to be very interesting with regards to how they manage the game in Libya, because they don't want to play an open, expansive brand of football away from home, because then oftentimes then you do get punished. And because then when you look at the Caf Confederations Cup, it is 2 legs. So within the first leg, when you do play away from home, it becomes very, very important that you don't concede, so that when you come home to favorable conditions, then you can play a bit of an open game where you can look then to play that attacking brand of football where you know then that you can go get those goals. In this encounter then, I do foresee Orlando Pirates looking to be compact, looking then to keep a clean sheet. However, it's not going to be easy, as they do travel to Libya, and I do foresee a very, very close encounter. But within the first leg, I do foresee a draw between Ahly Tripoli and Orlando Pirates. And then we shall foresee then what happens in the second leg. However, the focus then is the first leg between Ahly Tripoli versus Orlando Pirates in the Caf Confederations Cup semi-final. Ladies and gentlemen, do let me know, what do you make of this encounter, and what do you make of Orlando Pirates, as they do also have a whole host of options off the bench that could always come in and look to impact the game positively. Thank you very much for tuning in to yet another special episode of Disky Talk with Luyolo. Signing out.